And now it's done. Some of you will have seen this over my shoulder in the last vlog where I share with you an adventure in trying to find the abandoned mine slash ghost town that Ashley's Jadek had a mining accident in. A mine shaft had collapsed. He was part of the cleanup crew, and as they were cleaning it up, it collapsed a second time where it crushed him, which is kind of a bummer. But since we've heard about that story, and since I've been with Ashley since I was 14 years old, I heard stories about her grandfather. I thought it was super cool. So we all decided that it would be awesome to go try to find this mine, which was very difficult, but we eventually did find the location of the mine shaft, which we have since confirmed since that video was filmed. If you missed that adventure, I'll have a link in the description. Anyway, I thought it would be interesting to make something to memorialize the adventure with some of the pieces of scrap metal and wood that I found along our way. I thought it was kind of cool. I will also have a link in the description to a build video of this here. Now, this piece is a pretty simple design. It's not very elaborate, but it's literally made out of a small element, anyway, of Ashley's family history. And I think that's so cool. I think it's so cool that it's made out of like pieces of metal and wood that Ashley's Jadek literally worked with for years before he got in that accident there. I just think that's so cool. You know what else is cool, actually? I just thought of this. This shelf that it's sitting on was actually made by Ashley's Jadek when he was, well, those of you who will recognize this design will know where he made it. I don't know if I should say. But anyways, to finish off this sculpture here, I wanted to add some coal to it, but I wanted the coal to be unique in its own way. That sounds dumb. Everything's unique in its own way. I wanted the coal to be special on its own as well. So we literally just got back from another adventure, like just now. I just walked in the door and then started filming this, where we visited another coal mine. This one was not nearly as hard to find as the other one was. But I thought it would be awesome if we finish this sculpture off using something where not only did Ashley's Jadek work in this mine, his wife, Ashley's Bobsha, also worked in this mine. And so that's why we visited this mine site in particular to grab a lump of coal to finish off this sculpture. It just tells a fuller story. She worked in the office and he worked in the... Hey cats, did you miss us? Normally this time of day they're chilling on this chair we have on the deck, but since they've been in the house so long, they're kind of running around. Anyway, whoa. Anyway, he worked in the mine shaft and she worked in the office. And you know what's crazy? As unfortunate as it is, if he hadn't gotten into his mine accident, he wouldn't have met her, and Ashley wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have met her. Crazy how life works out like that. But anyway, there's nothing left of that mine site anymore. It's completely gone. The only thing that does remain is actually the pathway that they would have taken to and from the mine site, which is pretty cool. Made it a lot easier to find than the Saunders Creek mine, because there was only one path. Okay, now speaking of mines, check this piece of wood out. This is from a gold mine that my brother Ken and my brother Mike were working at last year. Some of you might remember that video where he gave me this to use in one of my projects. I'll put a link to that video as well in case you're interested. That's not going to work for here. Now, him, my brother Mike, my brother Dave, and my brother Jakota are back out that way again this year on another gold claim. Well, I am going out to coal mines, not getting rich at all. Oh, dang it. I need better wood storage here. Not that I wouldn't go gold mining. I would go gold mining if it would work out. There we go. With everything else I have going on, maybe next year. There we go, that's gonna work. Awesome. But anyways, as I was saying, this particular mine didn't have anything super interesting along the way like the Saunders Creek one did. So what you saw is what you saw. That was basically the whole adventure. It wasn't too super interesting. I forgot about this. Before I left a big old mess here. I made this air dry clay zombie head here for my patrons. Patrons? I said that weird. For the ass kickers, the people who get their name on the door. If you're up for it, you can win stuff like this. It's not always stuff like this. In fact, actually, what's up? It's never stuff like this. What's up, Archie? But Halloween is coming up, so I wanted to make something Halloweeny. It's a little early, but that's because depending on where you live in the world, I wanted it to be able to be shipped to you in time for Halloween. Luckily, though, it was won by someone local, so it'll be easy to ship. So thank you, Linda, for being an ass kicker. But anyway, I gotta clean this up so that I can work on this project here. How is this even possible? She was on the tape measure. Cats. Cats are fun. Even though this particular mine that we went to where we got the lump of coal from didn't have anything interesting on the way, we did actually find a separate coal mine that now also happens to be a ghost town. So we actually ended up doing this first before heading out to the McGilvery mine site to pick up a piece of coal to finish off this sculpture that memorialized our adventure in trying to find the Saunders Creek ghost town that we chronicled in the last vlog. And unlike that ghost town, this one was a lot easier to find. We actually ended up just going straight to the museum and asking them, how do we find the ghost town? And they basically showed us which road to start on. And it was an easy walk from there. There was bridges and signage the whole way. So we didn't even have to get our feet wet, really. The museum even gave us a little map and legend of the town, and they highlighted which buildings you could still see. So that was kind of cool.
Firing.
Is there a date on it?
Does it say it's firing order 153624?
I don't think it might not be that old.
Well, it's a old kind of looking
Steel bumper.
But it could be like 70s still.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of car this is.
Was it on it?
Yeah, this isn't really, really old.
But it's all steel, there's no plastic. Oh, I see what happened. They were trying to pull someone out of the mud with this cable. And then they pulled too hard and they just exploded. I wonder if anyone would recognize this bumper. What kind of car is this? This is pretty cool. And the muffler right there. Anyways, on to the next area.
Oh, look at this little trail. I mean, bridge. You have to go over the bridge this time.
You can go down, bud.
Oh, he's fine with it this time.
Oh, look at it.
It's a bit less scary.
Good job, Duke. He's not even scared of this one at all.
Good boy.
Remember the other one?
Down and up.
Yeah, the other one, you could see right through it.
It's okay, buddy. Don't think too much about it.
Come on.
Don't think too much.
Come on. Come here. Look, buddy. Come here.
Thanks to a series of signs and markers, it was a lot easier to find this ghost town. This one is called Lille, than it was to find Saunders Creek 2 weeks ago, where there was barely any signage. Here we didn't need nothing extra, so here we are. The Crow's Nest area is another place that Ashley's grandfather had worked in. He didn't work in this mine, this is before he came over, but still thought we would check it out because it's kind of cool. Look at this, they had a hockey team with 8 people on it, and one of them was a baby. There were some other people here, I guess. School. Wow, life must have been rough. These people look older than these people. But anyways, there should be remnants around, and it looks like just over here there are a lot more to look at here than there was over in the Saunders Creek area. There's even little bits of metal on the ground. So oh, there's way more. This is the hotel? Small hotel, but still.
I mean, it's small, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it goes around back here and then this area here. But it was probably like a couple stories or what?
Yeah, 3 stories, I think.
3 stories? Yeah, we got a little write up here. Or a map, I guess. A legend with the map too.
So where's the hotel on this? Hotel 18.
Okay, that's where we are.
Walking this way, we'll get to the town dump. Behind us that way is the cooking oven. Beside us is the ice house and the livery stable.
Right over there somewhere?
There's a lot of houses back that way.
Yeah, I saw some stuff over there. It's just like rocks. Like the foundation is just like cement with actual rocks.
Rocks just probably from the mountain.
Yeah, they're stacked up. Yeah, they probably, when they were blasting for the mine,
Yeah.
and they took some of the rocks, or a lot of the rocks, or maybe they, I mean, I don't know how they find the coal, but I'm assuming they blasted something apart and then just didn't waste the rocks, they just used them.
This was built in 1901.
1901. comes through the window.
Is this a window?
Yeah, I think so. Or a door. Based off of what we didn't find at the Saunders Creek ghost town, I was not expecting to see so much left of the hotel. But it was one of the things that the museum lady did highlight, so I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised. It's just, I didn't know what to expect, I guess. I can say that it was definitely worth the 6 kilometers of walking. Now 6 kilometers isn't actually that much to walk, especially on a easy broken trail, but had I walked all the way over there for no reason, that would have been kind of a bummer if there was nothing left to see, especially since it didn't really pertain to any family or anything like that. But we were in luck. It was pretty cool to see the hotel there. It's cool to see how they built it. I was hoping everything else in the area that was highlighted was going to be just as cool. And then further on down from the hotel here, just down around the bend, there's a few more ruins, including this one right here, which is the washery, I guess. Pretty cool. Cable on the ground here, some sort of chute thing, lots of bricks. It would be cool if we were allowed to take them, but I guess if everyone's taking them, then it doesn't work. This is a different type of situation than the other ghost town we were on. This one's an actual historical site, whereas the other one was just a like, come check out this abandoned town. So we'll respect it and not take anything.
Is there a door?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's a little thing right here.
Maybe this is one of the ovens too.
Yeah?
I don't know. How would
Oh,
you
then that's the washery over there.
Maybe.
I saw that just as I
This
was walking around.
like an oven then.
Yeah. This is an oven, I think. So, does that mean that this is an oven and that's something else?
No, those are ovens too.
So this ghost town, it seemed to be a little more spread out than the other one was that I showed you that Ashley's Jadek worked in. I think it was just probably bigger or something like that. So we weren't going to be able to check out the whole entire thing. It was just too spread out. Plus, we didn't really know anyone who worked there, and we weren't really looking for anything. It was interesting, but we were just going to focus on the things that were highlighted in the map that the museum gave us. There was just way too much to look at. Although, I do wish I would have gone back and filmed some of that wash house, because I did mention it in the video. But don't worry, you didn't miss anything. It was just a square impression with a few timbers around it that hadn't yet rotted away. I just forgot to go back there because I was too excited about checking out these cook ovens that I had just seen. I wanted to see the other ones a little more up close because they look freaking badass. This is cool. This is part of the cook?
Cook oven, yeah.
Like, is this for cooking,
I don't know.
what, food or coal?
Maybe coal.
Is this for taking the impurities out of the coal
I don't know.
to make coke or something?
I don't know. Potentially?
It is interesting though. The map of the town we have says these are cook ovens. I wonder if the fires were built under here and then like the heat went up through whatever structure was up there, because all the wood is basically deteriorated. I wonder if they actually intentionally destroyed it. I'm not entirely sure. There isn't a whole heck of a lot of information on this that we have even cared to look up, but we did read the signs, and I haven't myself, but no one said anything about what they were. Oh, check this out. Yeah. Oh yeah? Big coal chunks. Does the sign say anything about if they destroyed the town on purpose or anything? If they dismantled it? No? Oh, some people took their houses with them. Down the mountain. They must have been small houses. This is kind of interesting. A lot of just random blocks. That must have been a structure of some sort. Steel pipe. Bigger chunks of coal. It's kind of cool. We're gonna visit another mine later, one that Ashley's Jadek actually worked on, the one where he actually met Ashley's Babcia. So that's Grandpa and Grandma. Ashley's grandparents were Polish. Her grandfather was born in Poland and her grandmother was born actually in Coleman, which is kind of cool. And that's how we have the Coleman connection, why we go there so often. You might remember the last time we went there, we went to see the plane crash in the mountains. If you missed that, I'll put a link in the description to that adventure. Man, I hope this works. Making this up as I go. That's the thing about this wood. It's worth the trouble, right? This thing came from a gold mine, so it has a built-in story. So I really want to use it. But I may ruin it in the process. Anyway, back to the coal lump thing. I'm gonna see if I can grab a chunk of coal to put in the little coal cart that I made from over there. Look, this is cool. Interesting. There's another part of it there. I remember seeing a piece like this at the Saunders Creek mine where I found that piece of wood that I made the shelf out of. There's another one right here. More bricks, lots of bricks. Bricks here, bricks there. Another eyelet there. These are modern. Those are pressure treated, I can see. And right up here, we have some hoops for keg barrels of some sort. That's so cool. If we're reading the town map properly, this is where the mechanic was. Although this could have just been a random shed. I'm not sure why there would be a barrel in there, but who knows? Who knows? There's this kind of cool piece of steel here. A little brick. Oh, this is interesting. It's got, let's see here, it says 1901 AGIER. That might be a C, and that might be a C. I'm not sure what that would have been. 1901, I guess that's when this town was here. And I can't make this up. Oh, that says the same thing, actually, 1901. Huh, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. There's something over here, too. A little chunk of rail. This is that small rail, same kind of stuff that we saw in Saunders Creek. Small rail, so that must have been for coal carts. So I imagine this here might be what held the rail together, maybe. And then there was leg bolts through it. But I don't actually know what that's for, but that's cool. These blocks are cool. They got little insignias on them, but they're too deteriorated to be able to see what they are. Is this from a glass insulator? I'm not sure. This block here has another one that says that's an 11. Oh, here's some more of that bottle. Wow, that's thick. It's really thick. Some more of it. Wonder if Bob the Bottle Man would know what this used to hold. Or maybe it's an insulator. It's an insulator or a bottle. But it's so thick, so I imagine it's an insulator. Could be wrong though. Some old boards. An older cow pie. Some more timbers of some sort of dilapidated structure. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I should catch up to the rest of the group. They went on. Perhaps less interested in me. Some random piece of metal there. Uh-oh. I'm coming up to a T intersection here, and I don't know which way they went. Hey, Ash! Left or right? Right. This way. Gotta keep up. I see you. Some more bricks. Something else must have been here. There were a lot of bricks there. I imagine a lot of the buildings were made out of bricks and then they just demolished them. Apparently some of the houses were moved, but they must have been made out of wood. Yeah, this should work. Seeing it get all smooth and all these shavings come out, so satisfying. They're all destroyed. Still cool though. So there was something here. That's probably a man-made hole there of some sort. But, you know, it's been 100 years. Over 100 years. So you'd expect things to grow up like this. There's a random piece of metal over there too. Some sort of sheet metal it looks like. Not sure what it could be exactly. Looks galvanized. I wonder if that was like a piece of roofing. There's another man-made hole here. There was homes all over the place here. There was 300 residents and then 400 people who were here on a daily basis or something like that. That's probably with the hotel and then people coming and going or something like that. And that could include like the temporary workers and laborers and stuff too. I'm not sure. I may have just heard incorrect. That's very possible. It looks like Ashley and the gang are looking at another something over here as well. It has bullet holes in it. Oh, could that be part of a stove of some sort? Giant cow pie. Yeah, it looks like it probably is. Well, I have no idea what that is. I was gonna say that was like the cabinet part of the stove, but maybe not. I'm not sure. Anyways, I should catch up. It's really nice in this area. Mountains all over the place. A lot of bears and deer and moose and stuff in here too. And the occasional elk. You found something? Oh, the fire hydrant. Oh, cool. That's already pretty smooth. Now, I'm not sure what I was expecting when the museum told us about the fire hydrants. That was one of the things that they mentioned when they were showing us the map. Fire hydrants have like super high pressure water, and we're in the middle of the mountains. I wonder how they plumbed it all in there. That's just so cool. Interesting. That's cool. Too bad it was smashed. That's cool. Then there's another one right over there. That's kind of awesome. Look how ornate they used to make things, eh?
Yeah. That's true.
That's cool. Ludlow, Maine. Mark. What does it say? Trademark. Ludlow trademark. And then some quotations. That's cool. That's really cool. Smooth as a baby's arm. Why would their butt be smoother than their arm? I never understood that. So I tried to look up why or how they would have plumbed those fire hydrants way up there, and I can't find anything. So if you know, that would be great if you let me know in the comments how they would have operated those. Would it have been from like a natural water source, or would they have, I guess it would have had to be like, I don't understand that at all. It kind of blows my mind actually. And I'm not sure why. It's probably, if I wasn't so ignorant, it would be very obvious, but I have no idea. Really cool though. I guess I should probably stir this. This will do. I hope this color looks good. I'm not sure what species of wood this is, because this literally just came out. This was, I don't know what its deal is exactly, but it was set on fire at one point. But this was literally in a collapsed or a semi-collapsed hand dug mine shaft at an old gold claim that my brother Ken found. So I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, what species. It's probably some sort of spruce or pine or poplar. That would be the most prevalent. Oh yeah, that's a great color. Anyways, we didn't know much about the fire hydrants. There wasn't much said about them, just that they were there. So we moved on from there.
So I think that means the hospital is that way.
Hospital's this way?
Yeah.
So look at.
I'm assuming because she said when she was pointing it to us, she said there was fire hydrants going here, right? And there's one there.
Yeah.
One here. So then, and number 10 is the hospital. So potentially up there.
Okay. Let's go check out the hospital. A lag bolt, nail, another nail, and then a bigger nail, all laying right next to each other. Had to leave these here because, again, this area is historic site, so not allowed to take anything. So we'll leave that. Random hole here is man-made. It's probably something because there was duplexes here by these fire hydrants and other residents, bunkhouses and whatnot for the laborers and whatnot. It's cool. Let's see what's left of the hospital. Another random hole there. You see anything over there? An oven? There's a lot of these holes here. Yeah, they're probably, yeah, some sort of, yeah, for individual structures.
The bunkhouses and duplexes right here.
Right. Oh, so they were kind of scattered around here.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's some sort of oven, I think.
Oven or something?
This one doesn't have no bullet holes in it, though. It's cool. Or it's a really old school coal-powered television. Because there's a lot of shattered glass around here. Maybe they're just busting out the glass. Obviously, that's a joke. Here's another hole.
Oh, there's a broken one.
Oh yeah, another coal-powered TV.
I don't know if there's anything left to the hospital. It would have been like around here, I think.
Yeah. Maybe there is no hospital left. There's another bolt missing the head. Cool. Man, kind of a bummer that we couldn't find anything left of the hospital. We assumed that, even though it wasn't highlighted on the map, that since hospitals are usually pretty big, that although it probably wouldn't have been as big as they are nowadays, at least not as big as like what Ashley works in or whatever, But if it was as big as the hotel was, that maybe, even after 120 years or however long it's been, there still might be something to find. But there wasn't. Although we totally could have been looking in the wrong area because we've done that before. But I kind of doubt it because the map and the landmarks, like we were pretty sure we were where we thought we were. So there was nothing left. Would have been cool though. Man, this color turned out good. Mint. I was worried at first because I wasn't sure what species of wood this was, and different species of wood take stain differently, and I really needed this to be really rich. But after applying the stain and seeing how the grain pops, and you can see that it's really close to the heart, and judging by the sapwood here and all of the knots, man, that's a lot of branches really close together. Yeah, this is probably spruce if I had to guess. It's a really prevalent tree in the area, so it's a safe bet. So I guess I was worried for no reason. I just didn't want to waste a 200-year-old piece of wood. I only had one shot because this was the only piece of its kind that I have that was long enough for this project. I just really needed it to contrast well. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have these 7 pieces prepped in white, and I really needed it to really pop. That was a bad pop. I really needed it to, there we go. I really needed it to pop. Yeah, that looks really good. That's going to work. It's going to look awesome. And the bottom here looks awesome as well. A lot of texture here on the bottom, so I had to do my best to stabilize it. I used polyacrylic to do so, and it really stiffened this wood up, so that's good. At some point this was lit on fire, either on purpose or by accident. I'm not really sure. Either way, it has a really cool built-in story, so I really wanted to preserve it as best I could. I'm not sure what that story is, but it's cool. So, although it looks like I have some cooling issues here, which is not a huge deal. I just had to apply the poly differently on the bottom than I did on the top. On the top, since it was already smooth, I just brushed it on and it just became smoother. Smooth as a baby's leg. It's almost like glass now. Smooth as a baby's glass. Whereas on the bottom, I had to like kind of dab it on to avoid, you know, damaging this. I wanted as much of this texture to remain as possible. So now I just have a few ridges that I have to sand, but that's okay. I think overall this thing is going to look awesome. I hope. I've never used raw material like this with finished material like that together in a project like this, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Although in my head it looks awesome, which is why I'm doing it. I have like this habit of, that end grain popped quite a bit. It's okay, that's normal when you add some liquid to it. Yeah, that's better. I like that. I have this habit of taking, how do you explain this? Adding a character piece to something that you wouldn't normally do that to. So you take a mundane, everyday, easy to walk past object and turn it into like a feature piece or a statement piece. That might be a little bit of a generous description for this, but I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. I like things to be a little unique, whereas normally they would just be something that you could easily walk by. It works for us. But anyway, we couldn't find any signs of the hospital. Well, we couldn't find the hospital, so we decided just to go through the trees here and then make our way back to the vehicle following the river, because as Joel said, it is tranquil AF. So, and it is, it's pretty nice. Small little, I guess it's more of a creek than a river, but it's really nice. And since we had to cross this multiple times, I don't think we'll get lost. Famous last words. There we go. They went back that way. Joel's coming this way. This is so cool. Are you okay? Well, you're laughing, so probably. Someone had a camp here. What did you do? Did you slip in?
She tried to jump across from there and there, and she panicked and she just stepped.
Oh, you panicked and then just stopped? That's pretty deep. Did you get soaked?
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have panicked, I might have been okay.
Oh, that's not so bad.
She ran and then she was like,
That's funny. Trying to jump over here. You should have crossed over there.
Yeah.
Oh well. Try avoiding over there so you don't get wet. Get wet anyway. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's all wet.
she's like, I probably can do it. No, I can't.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm glad I threw my phone first.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe do that.
Really cool spot.
I was picturing you tried to do it and then you're just like plop.
At the end, yeah. On the far side.
Like, this is not gonna go over well. But good job. I'd have been scared too. I don't think I would have jumped.
I felt like I could until my last minute. Fell in.
Oh, so funny. That'd be awesome if you got that on camera though.
I don't think I got it, but I heard it. Well, that's kind of hilarious. I was not expecting that to happen. I was this close to getting it on camera, but I wasn't expecting her to try to jump across like that. I think she would have had an easier time crossing the logs, but she probably thought that was the bigger risk because earlier, where there was no bridge to cross, I had helped her cross on a log which was really wet and slippery. And perhaps she thought she would spare me having to get my feet wet again by trying to jump across the creek. Wrong choice because she fell in, but oh well. At least we didn't get lost finding the vehicle by following the creek. It was actually really easy, but we did have to cross the creek at this point, and so I guess she was destined to get her feet wet after all. Oh well. It is what it is, and now here we are. We got the trim mocked up on the floor. I think it's going to look really good, actually. I like how all these pieces fit together nicely. I'm not sure what this trim is typically used for. I don't know if it's for windows or what, but I had this nice chamfer on here, so I mimicked it with some extra pieces, and I like how everything fit together. Now, for everything to fit nicely on here, I had to do some extra prep around the window on the bottom. And I should say, actually, it looks like the kitchen is only half done. Missing cabinets, trim, backsplash, hood fan, and all sorts of things like that. But it's not half done. It's actually half demoed. We actually plan on redoing the whole entire kitchen, maybe even a little redesign. But we can't do that right now. However, since it's been on my mind, I wanted to do the window because I thought it would be a nice conclusion to our recent adventures in trying to find ghost towns and mines and whatnot. I started a couple vlogs ago with this build right here, which if you've missed it, I'll put a link in the description. Actually, I'll probably make a playlist that starts with this video and ends with this video here. And then you can kind of get the whole story from beginning to end. But anyway, I wanted to finish up the bottom of the window here because it used to look like this. You can see there's quite a big gap between the drywall and where the window starts, and that really wasn't going to work for a sill like this. It's really uneven, and it gets really thin here, and you would have been able to see the gap since we aren't going to be putting on any tile until we rebuild the whole kitchen. And this is likely the tile that we will use, a subway tile like this. No sense doing a tedious job like that if we're just going to demo everything and start over. but not bad. I'm really digging this. Hopefully now you understand what I mean by turning something that's normally just something you walk past, something mundane, and turning it into something to talk about. It's kind of cool how this came from a gold mine and we have a gold faucet. I'm really digging the live edge quality to this windowsill here. It looks good in the natural light and in the artificial light. This thing is spiffy. Now I realize that this aesthetic isn't everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay. There's many different types of tea. Drink something else if you don't like it, I guess. We really dig it. Let me get that dust off of there. That's better. It goes well with what we've done here with our temporary countertops. I wanted to have a live edge look to it, but live edge doesn't really go with this style of sink, so I squared it off with some concrete here. And you can see that I made it flow because I hate how miters interrupt patterns in wood. So I did kind of like a river table thing. I see people do that with resin a lot, but I wanted to do something different. Though this countertop is meant to be a temporary solution to a need, I also wanted to use it as an experiment to see how well it would hold up over time. I made a video on this, and it happens to be my most viewed video. I'll put a link in the description in case you want to see the build process. And in case you're wondering, it's held up just fine over the last 2 or so years. But anyway, I think the countertop and the windowsill complement each other quite well. Not bad for a half-demoed kitchen. Now you might be asking, why the heck did we only half-demo it? What happened there? Well, we bought this house as a foreclosure, and there was intentional sabotage with the plumbing, and we had to redo the electric as well. So in doing that, we decided to replace all the broken stuff with stuff that we actually like, such as this apron style sink. And doing this type of sink, we had to have a different type of countertop. And we also moved it over to line up with the middle of the window, and moving it over, had to move other stuff over. And we also wanted to get a normal size fridge. We used to have one of those apartment sized ones here. And we also upgraded the stove because we used to have one of those coily ones there. And we got these after I made this, as you can tell by me not finishing up the countertop. We just weren't sure what we were going to get and what was going to fit. I had to cannibalize some of the cabinets to make everything work together, and then I never worried about finishing it up, and I probably never will, because hopefully soon we will be able to do the kitchen. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. We just needed something that would work for us while we thought of design ideas and came up with the money to rebuild everything. And it kind of works out in our favor to have to wait so long, because this wouldn't have happened like this. It probably would have just been trimmed out like a regular window, which is fine, but I much prefer this. But I didn't have the material until more recently, and then I didn't have the inspiration until even more recently, just over these last couple weeks. It's kind of fun how these types of things work out, and I really dig the way this window turned out. What do you guys think? Is it worth waiting, or would you just use the materials that are available to you and just get it done right away? Assuming that you have the funds to do so. In our case, we don't always have the funds, so we have to wait because that's just the way things work sometimes. But in waiting, sometimes things are able to turn out a little better, a little more interesting. Yeah, man, I really like how these colors and materials work together. It looks really sharp. Not bad for someone who doesn't normally do trim. Or maybe I'm just patting my own back. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Oh no! No, don't follow us! Don't follow us! We do have wild horses in Alberta, but these are not wild horses. They got shoes on. No! Stay! I don't think they know what stay means. They'll be fine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just open, so I can go in and out. Doesn't seem like they're trying. We didn't even have food for the night.
I probably won't use that, but
It could be beef again.
yeah, or even a bonus clip.